The biggest lie in the world right now is that cows are killing the planet. At the core of that lie is how methane is calculated, and in the next few minutes I'm going to take you through the full carbon cycle for my dairy cows, from the air and back to the air. All the carbon that enters my dairy cows starts in the air, and I have organised this fog as a nice visual representation of that carbon. Let's take 10 carbon atoms from the air and follow their journey through one of my dairy cows. The grass in my field uses photosynthesis. That's a hard word to say. Photosynthesis. Grass uses photosynthesis to pull carbon out of the air and store it as energy in the form of carbohydrates and proteins. So when my cows come in here in a few weeks to graze this field, they will eat the grass and they will take up the carbon. Sorry if I'm explaining this like you're stupid, but none of the public question any of this stuff. One of the 10 carbon atoms will leave as meat and milk, which is then consumed as food by us humans, and we emit the carbon as respiration. Another 2 of the carbon atoms are emitted as respiration by the cow, also not counted as an emission. The remaining 7 carbon atoms are digested in the rumen of the cow by bacteria. The bacteria inside the cow's rumen takes the remaining 7 carbon atoms and converts them to methane through the bacteria's version of respiration. So respiration from the human, not counted as an emission. Respiration from the cow, not counted as an emission. Respiration from the rumen, counted as an emission. But here's the thing, no matter how the carbon leaves the cow, it has all started in the same place, which is the air. This next bit is where climate scientists like to gaslight us farmers and say that methane is not the same as CO2. So let's continue to track our 7 carbon atoms which have left our cow as methane. They have entered the atmosphere again, and them 7 methane atoms have 96 times the global warming potential of 7 carbon atoms. However, over the next 12 years, them 7 methane molecules that entered the atmosphere will break down into CO2 and water, completing our cycle. What this means is, if you have a stable number of animals, like this farm has for the last 12 years, as you emit the 7 methane molecules, 7 more that you emitted a decade earlier have just broken down back to carbon to be reabsorbed by the grass. So the net effect of the methane molecules emitted by my cows on global warming is 0. Factually, 0. And yet, in all the carbon calculations, them methane molecules are accounting for over 70% of my farm's emissions.